everybody. Hello, it's good to see you again today. You may hear some whimpering or something. Let me show you who it is. Chester. This is my studio dog at my feet. Do you have a dog? As you can see, I'm wearing a mask so that Chester don't get COVID. A joke. But anyway, I just wanted to remind you to wear a mask. I hope you had a great day today. And I hope you're ready to do some drawing. So today we're going to, as promised, we're going to draw in pastel, not pastels, but charcoal. We did some charcoal demonstrations last time, and this time we're going to draw another picture in charcoal. And this time I'm going to show you how to blend, because many times when people draw, when they first start drawing, and they'll do this for years. They'll start with pencils and they'll find out, hey, I made a mistake by smudging this face, but it looks good. So we don't want to smudge pictures. You don't want to smudge pencils, charcoals, or chalk, or pastels. What you want to do is blend them, much like you would blend paints. And so to blend, we have stumps. We would do some traditional blending with stumps and paper and even cloth, okay? So let's get started. So first I want to show you the different ways and the different types of charcoal, the different forms that can come in. Splash students, I have given you charcoal pencils like this. And I never used charcoal pencils in my life until Tuesday when I did that class. And I think maybe they made pencils so that it would be easier for students. I don't know. But the thing that I like about pencils is that you can grip it like a pencil. And so we're used to gripping pencils. What I don't like is that I can't vary this edge. I'm sort of held captive by this point. Now I know I can use my sandpaper pad to put a different point on this charcoal, but I don't know. I just don't like the way it feels. It's a little bit too hard. It's not soft enough for me, but I'm going to draw with those today. Charcoal also comes in vine, like this. It's just like if you, a tree that got burnt up and one of the limbs burnt, and that would be the charcoal. It also comes like this and very thick. Now these are very soft and flaky. These thick charcoals. Now this is the more traditional compressed charcoal. And you can get them like this. You can buy them like this. And I like drawing with these. So what I may do is start off drawing with the pencil, and then I may, depending on my need, I'm probably going to go to some of the soft charcoals. And we're going to blend with this stump. I'm going to use this small stump and probably this large stump. I like blending with the big stump, but they make stumps in several different sizes. I don't do a lot of charcoal drawings, so personally, I only use the material that's going to best express the point I'm trying to make with my art. So if charcoal is not going to make the point, make the statement, then I don't use charcoal. So usually I paint, because I don't know, paint sort of does it for me. Pencil does it for me as well. So I'm going to draw somebody, see if you know who this is. So whenever you're drawing, always have what you're drawing in front of you and set yourself up to make it easy for you. Make it as easy as possible and as comfortable as possible for you. If you're drawing from life, have that person so that you don't have to turn your head so much to see that person. You know, this drawing, I may offer it, if it comes out okay, as a way to raise funds for Splash. Splash is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We founded Splash well, 10 years ago. This summer, next summer will be 10 years. My wife and I, Iantha, who's always in every class with me, she's a professional artist as well. She has exhibited extensively in the South. She's from England, but she came here and started exhibiting. When she was in England, she designed fashion, and she did fashion shows. She designed her own fashion, and she organized other young fashion designers and put on fashion shows in London. And when I met her, I said, "Oh, that got to stop." I believe everybody's an artist. Actually, I know everybody's an artist. If I do a good job, some of you guys, young guys and young ladies, might want to give a donation to Splash, a real healthy donation for this picture. Because if it's good and if I put it in an art show, it may be a little bit out of your reach. It may not. I don't know who's watching. So Splash is a 501c3 nonprofit. And what we want to do is get art classes, free art classes, into the hands of kids who were like myself, who loved art but could not afford to take classes. I wanted to be an artist, but my parents did not have the money to pay for art classes. And I actually believe, let me give you a secret, I believe that all art classes should be free, no matter whether you have money or you don't have money. I don't think that should even be in the mix. Splash students, you should know what I'm doing now. I'm doing exactly what I've taught you guys how to do. If you're not already a Splash student, I hope you will become one. I have tailored these classes where that if you are 4 or 94, you can benefit. Always go back and double check what you're doing. So I see the value in the pencil it's easier to get some precision. I'm trying to decide which eye I like the best. I think I like this one. His left eye the best. So what I'm doing is measuring. I want this eye to fall, the bottom to fall on that line. I want the top to fall about right there, a little lower. Now, when you can go, kids, what you could do, if you want to draw this picture, you can go back and replay this video after we post it. And you can just stop in sections. So, splash classes, we started it for kids like me who loved art but couldn't afford to take art classes, and wanted to give our kids a chance to live their lives the way they want to, using their talents and gifts. And sometimes, if a person don't have your gift, they can't appreciate it. And they tell you all this stuff about what you need to do with your life. But you need to follow your heart with your life so that you can be happy. Why live a life if you can't be happy, for crying out loud? Follow your heart. You never know where it might lead you. I don't draw so that I can make money. I make money so that I can draw. My goal in life is to draw, not to make money. Some things in life, everything's not about how much money you make. I think current events prove that. And some people judge people by their income. I judge people by how much they give to help others. So, my philosophy on life informs my art, and so will yours. That's why I tell kids, never quit, never give up, keep trying. I was thinking today, and I'm glad I'm talking, because now I can remember what I want to tell you. Mistakes are good sometimes, and they're good for two reasons. The best reason is because they teach you what not to do. Mistakes teach you and train you in what doesn't work, what not to do. And you keep making the same mistakes over and over again. You need some psychological help, if you expect a different result. You keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, So I'm just trying to fill out each of these sketch marks. It's just like I'm touching I'm imagining that I'm touching the side of his head with my fingers. And each mark, each stroke of my charcoal is touching him in my mind. Because I want to get the shape of his face. Next time I might bring my skull in here so that you can see. What I'm doing is lining up the bottom of the ears where they go. It is more, I think it's harder to get a likeness from a photograph than from life. For me it is anyway, because the photograph is flat. So you're seeing what the camera saw. And I'm not a camera. The camera uses one eye, one lens, a single lens, and it flattens everything out. But the photographer, like this person, this photographer is obviously an awesome photographer. So he can fool your eye and make you think it's sort of like 3D. But if the person was here, I can see what's actually happening. So now I'm only guessing. So I'm going to make mistakes, but mistakes are good. Because if one thing I do doesn't work, then I'll do something else. Now, my drawing, this is something I want to say. I want to say something about practice. Now, I'm remembering that because we are live online, we're also going to post this onto Facebook, onto YouTube. We're not doing YouTube live yet. We're going to do that a little later. But right now, I'm more interested in making sure that I impact kids from 4 to 94. So what us going live and live streaming, what it's done, it makes me work harder, but it's also increased my audience so that now older people used to ask me all the time, when am I going to teach classes for older people? And I used to teach classes years ago for adults, but for the last almost 10 years, we focused on children. But now here's a chance for adults to benefit, because what I'm saying and what I'm doing can benefit adult artists as well. So some kids can draw this, because I have teenagers watching. And so now these online classes are for whoever watches. It's an awesome opportunity. So his head is going to flow off of the page. I never try to fit anything into the page. If I draw it in such a way that it fits into the page, that's fine. Now, if I was doing this for somebody, I would have turned my paper this way, and I would have made sure it fit on the page. But now I'm just drawing now. I just need a subject that I could use to demonstrate blending with charcoal. But right now I'm sketching, and remember last time I was telling you how your lines, your sketch lines, are like a road map to what you saw. So I can read these lines and remember what to do. So when I look at something and I make a decision, my line indicates what decision I made. Now I can change my mind at any time. I remember thinking about him. I was thinking about he's wearing a hoodie. And I remember when I was in school, athletes dressed a certain way. And I'm glad now that athletes, they dress however they want to. They're more free. They have more freedom now. And so they can express themselves with fashion and style. Okay, so let's see if I want to make any changes. I may go back to the pencil, but I think I need to show you what I'm going to put a little. I think Kobe has some pointy ears. Some of you know better about what he looks like than I do. I came along more during the Michael Jordan era. If any guys are watching and you know, you can correct me on that. I'm not that great as far as the sports stacks. So what I want to do now is I want to go and show you, let's do the soft pastels. I mean, charcoal first. These sticks, I rarely use these sticks, but I want to show you what they do. These are the vine sticks, and if you press hard, they will break. They blend very easily, very easy. One thing I like about the modern basketball player, people like Kobe, is they made being bald cool. So let's blend that. I want you to see what happens. See, I'm just using, I'm feeling the paper, I'm touching the paper. This paper is pretty smooth, by the way. It's soft and smooth. This is not, you know, like top of the line. It's good paper, but it's not top of the line. It's not hard press, I don't think, or cold press. It's just a smooth paper. If I was going to use an expensive paper, I would use a hot press paper for what I'm trying to do here. Now I'm just going to blend. See how I'm blending what's already there? I'm going to do it slowly. I'm going to try to get all my grays in. Then I'm going to go back and do some dark grays. Okay, let's do that. So you see how that made a nice little gray? Let's see what this compressed charcoal will do. It's a lot heavier, very good for eyebrows. I'll probably use the pencil, the charcoal pencils, to draw the eyes. Let's do this thick vine charcoal. See what happens here. Now, when doing art, you cannot be afraid. You have to be bold. So I'm going to do a shadow here. See this? How gray this charcoal is. So I'm just using the side of the charcoal. See, I'm using this so that I can cover a lot of space, a lot of area. Now using the point. See, this is why I like drawing with charcoal, because you can turn it. Instead of pencils, you can turn it. I really like the vine. And then there's another, my favorite is block charcoal. Some would call this block, but it's really heavy, like the compressed charcoal. You know, when you draw with it, it goes on very heavy, but it's more like a block. I don't want this line that I drew there, so I'm going to lift this line up. Also, I'm leaving the highlights. The paper is going to serve for white. So if I press a little harder, see how this is darker than that? Yeah, I think I'll go as far as I can with this. Now this will fall off the paper, this charcoal. This paper don't have any tooth, really. So I had to be cognizant that it could fall off the paper. And I'm gonna blend that. See how it broke there? Now, every time I draw or paint, I'm experimenting. I don't say, this is how you do this is how you do that. I use my instincts. And that's what you need to do. And that's how you learn. And you will make mistakes, and mistakes can be good. Some of the mistakes will teach you something. I'm going to get the smaller vine charcoal to do this area here. I'm setting the picture up now. I call it, I'm not going to tell you, setting it up for the coup de grace. It's like a play. It's like you notice how you guys are watching and wondering how it's going to look. Look, I don't know how it's going to look, but I'm not going to let it not look right, hopefully. I'm thinking about the muscles in the face, how the face turns. I'm thinking about the light on his face, the darkness in here. I'm going to blend all of this. Well, I'm just putting the charcoal down. Just putting the charcoal down now. Because I only have a limited amount of time to do this. Now, I would love to relax and slow down. And I suggest you guys go slow. There's an outside chance, depending on how this looks. There's an outside chance I will come back Saturday and do something else to it. But my goal is just to show you how to blend. So there's some fun things, fun ideas I'm having in my mind now that I could do with this picture, with this drawing. That would take a little bit more time. And I may not, that might be for a more advanced class. Not that you can't do it, it just, I don't know, it just, some things, just for advanced people. They'd be more interested in watching it, maybe. I might be wrong. Hope you guys are interested in watching this. So I'm thinking about his jaws and how his jaws fold over and everything. I'm about ready to do this thing. I'm going to actually draw in his mustache and beard later. I'm just thinking about shadows and shapes. The shape of his neck. And I'm just trying to get some charcoal on the paper so just to have something to work with. Remember, I'm going to try to leave highlights. He has a strong light coming and from the his left, my right, the right hand side. Okay, now let's start blending. I'm gonna get this large stump, see what happens. Well, let me show you this first. You can also blend with a terry cloth. I'm just gonna make sort of like a point. I'm gonna try to make sure the cloth don't hit the paper. I'm barely touching the paper. So you can blend this way. But actually the cloth is taking up too much charcoal for me, for my liking. So I'm gonna put this charcoal back down. And now use the stump and see which one I like the best. I'm gonna show you other ways to blend too. I'm using the side of the stump. I don't like that mark it made there. So I'm gonna take that up. Now, so you can use a stump to blend. I don't usually use this soft charcoal at all. You can also blend with paper towel. You have to figure out what you like the best. Now, you can also blend. I'm going to try to describe this head here. You can also blend with your fingers. Make sure your hand is dry if you blend with your fingers. I always have a plan. My plan is to go back into this picture with some darks to make it to give it a strong contrast. So the stump, you're going to find blending with the stump a little bit better than blending with your fingers. Your fingers will have, it might be wet, dirty, or it might have oil on your fingers. The beard is going to be much darker. So when you're blending, you're just moving the charcoal around on the paper, really. Has to be very, you feel it though. When you start blending, you can tell if you're putting too much pressure. Be careful to not put too much pressure. Now, blending charcoal is totally different than blending pastels. I'm using the point of my blender. Blending stump, whatever you want to call it. Remember I told you I'm going to go back with the pencil, charcoal pencil. I still plan to do that. Now, the whites of eyes aren't really white. So they can be a little gray. Now, this could be too dark here. It might be a little bit too dark, I don't know. It's probably not, but I'd rather take a little bit off now than later. Take a little bit off here. I don't want the eye to be totally white. I'm gonna go back in with and do the mustache. So now what we need, see how gray this face look? We need some contrast. So I start putting in my darks. Oops. So when I need a wider line, I can use this compressed charcoal. Also, the compressed is a little bit darker. Try to not let your hand, do not let your hand touch the paper. I just felt my hand touch the paper. So you have to be aware of what's happening. Sometimes you can get lost in doing these things. Now, you could work on something like this for an hour or a week, okay? before I finish the beard, I'm going to go ahead and finish his eyes. I'm drawing with the stump now. Can you guys hear my puppy wandering around trying to get me to, I don't know what he's doing. So the light is not hitting underneath his eyebrows because there's an indentation there. So I'm going to put shadow there because it's receiving less light. Now you would work this up slowly, slower than what I'm doing. I'm going back and just putting in little details. I'm using the point to get a darker line. And look, kids, this may seem complex to you, but I just want you to see it. So you never know. Sometimes just by seeing somebody do something, you can learn. But this is how you blend. This is how you use the stump that's in your set. Practice You have to practice this. We're coming to the end. I just want to smooth some of this out a little bit. Make that a little darker. I want to get that smell. Okay. Well, we're coming to the end of our live feed. We started a little late, I think a couple of minutes. So I give myself the right to go over a couple of minutes. I could keep working on this for another hour, but I'm not going to. I'm going to just blend this beard in a little bit more, then call it a day. Okay, as always, sign your picture. Okay, I hope that this gave you a pretty good idea about how to go about using the stumps to blend charcoal. You have to experiment with it yourself. Usually I would just use a block charcoal, kind of like this, but it's much thicker, and I would do the whole picture with that block charcoal because it's softer than this compressed charcoal, but harder than the vine charcoal. And so you'll find that you work with certain materials better than you do others. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this splash class. Hope to see you again this weekend, Saturday from 11 to 12. Hope you remember to donate to Splash and go online at splashyoutheartsworkshop.org to see how to donate. And until next time, remember, arts is for everyone. Bye-bye.